What's up, guys? It's Sean from Srkcycles.com, and I'm normally very positive. Like I'm positive about all the bikes. I'm selling them. I try to keep that positivity. Let me say the good points about the bike. Every bike has a good point, but I hate Denny's. I mean Ducatis. Hate Ducatis. But I'm gonna ride this stupid Ducati. Yeah. Here, let me show it to you real quick. This is the 2014 899. Why Ducati? This is the 600. This is if you're trying to figure out like what that class does that go into. This is a 600 of Ducatis. Ducati has to make like double. If they have to 50% more CCs to keep up with everything else that only has, you know, like with the Jap bikes. And before it was like, oh, it's because we only have 2 cylinders. Well, you know what? Now your Panigale has now your Panigale. Wait, does it work? Oh, there we go. Now your Panigale has 4 cylinders also, and is like 1,800 cc's. So I've ridden Ferraris, and I've driven Ferraris and done all that stuff. I understand the idea of this is a higher, you know, you're paying for a step up. It's more refined. There is nothing more refined about a V-twin over a 4-cylinder. Nothing. There's nothing more refined about it. That's why it's a V-twin. That's why Harleys are V-twin. It's more rugged. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, what am I paying for? Now, you got style. I get it. The styling's awesome. The styling is super awesome. No doubt about it. In so many ways, I feel like Ducati is so behind the times. What, in the past like a couple years, they started doing wet clutches. Have you guys heard those nasty? Sometimes a bike pulls up. Let's say you're not looking at it, and a bike pulls up, and you're like, oh my gosh, that bike is broken. Well, you know, let's say maybe it's a Honda. You don't know what it is, but you're like, that bike is broken. That guy needs to go right to the shop. And then you look out there, it's a Ducati guy sitting on his bike. He paid $90,000 for it, and the clutch is just hanging open. The clutch is just hanging out there in the open. Butterflies are flying in there, chattling, rattling, making gross noises. It's disgusting. Cover that thing up. A clutch is not meant to be hanging out in the open, all for everyone to see. Just have a little bit of modesty. Have a little bit of decency. Cover that stuff up, all right? That's all I gotta say. That's not all I gotta say. I got way more to say. Is the bike fast? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty quick. I mean, I was expecting more. Is it faster than like a 600 Super Sport from anyone else? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you get off of a 600 and jump on a 1000, and you're like, oh, all right, I get it. This is serious. Stuff just got real. I'm pulling the front end up in gears that I didn't think was possible, you know what I mean? And it's a very night and day difference, especially at the higher speeds. This, I feel like it's a 600. It's a 600, but the Italians, what everyone else can do with 599 cc's, except for Kawasaki, and they need 633, 636. What everyone else can do with 600 cc's, Ducati's like, not only can I do that, I'll charge you more and do it with 900 cc's. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, how does that work? Someone is smoking a cigar. Oh no! My vibe reverse flew away. Maybe it flew on me. Let's talk about some good things. Oh, here's another bad thing about this bike. It's not the most comfortable bike. I was talking with a buddy of ours, awesome guy, older guy, and he was telling us a story about Ducatis. He's like, when I used to go down to like Virginia to go ride my bike, all these twisty roads down there. He's like, we'd ride the whole way down to Virginia, and there'd be a bunch of Ducati guys. He's like, these guys would smoke me in the corners, and I'd catch up to them on the straights. We all came from hours away. Every time I asked them how far away they come from, they all came from 20 minutes away because they're not comfortable bikes. Let's start from first gear. I'll tell you this though, quick shift is the baddest thing out there. When it comes to performance, this bike is pretty great. When it comes to who Ducati riders look like, think of your stereotypical Ducati guy. Did it look like this? Yeah, me too. So some of the things I do love about this bike, one, I love the style of it. I love the way it looks. The seat's super cool looking. I like how it's, you got the traction control and all those things. You can just tap into them. You can change them. They automatically stay to the loose settings that you put it at. That's awesome. The quick shift, I don't know what Ducati calls it, maybe they call it quick shift, is one of the greatest advancements in motorcycle riding, racing technology that I feel like I've ever, it's awesome. You don't let off the you don't let off the brake, you don't get on the clutch, you just shift. So it makes it, I mean, honestly, like if you ever all things being equal, if you were racing a guy who had it and you didn't, every time you shift, he's gonna pull ahead of you like 2 feet. Every time you shift, 2 feet. Before you have the exact same bikes, you're equal riders, and he's 20 feet ahead of you because you're wasting all this time shifting. Now I know you think you're the fastest shifter out there. Watch me, watch this. All right, I just did it, I shifted, bam. But quick shift is sick. I love the slimness of this bike. I love the color of this bike. I know that's a dumb thing, it's like the girly thing to say, but I do. I think this is one of the coolest looking colors. And since Ducati started going with a wet clutch, you gotta admit, man, this bike sounds good. Hold up. That is a great sound. Another thing, I'm under the impression this is a stock exhaust. How is the stock exhaust so loud? So, in my life, I'm going through this hate Ducati, kind of like Ducati, dichotomy, where a lot of things about Ducati I don't like, but then, I don't know, part of it's winning me over. It's almost like the Harley Davidson thing, you know? There's a lot of reasons not to like Harley Davidson, but a big part of it might be your experience with Harley Davidson riders. Another great thing about this bike, I've got this bike on sport mode, but not full-blown race mode, which sport mode leaves some driver's aids on it. There is a wet mode. When I first rode it on wet mode, I was like, what? This bike sucks. This bike is dumb. And then I'm like, oh, it's on wet mode. I took it off. Normally on the import bikes, you don't see that big of a difference between sport mode or between wet mode and or A, B, and C mode. Normally it's like, it's the mildest difference and you're like, did anything happen? This, you take it from wet mode to sport mode was big. It woke up the whole bike, which one is great. You could actually buy this bike and be like, hey, it's a little more than what maybe I need, but you can buy this bike and put it on wet mode and just kind of learn it. And then you got the biggest upgrade right there. You just change that, press that button a couple times, and put it in sport mode. Another good thing is you can ride this. You could ride this thing in the rain. You could ride. I think I rode it in the rain when I had it. You could ride this thing in the rain, put it in wet mode, and it's very tame. The tires are very sticky. I love that. Man, that's a good-looking bike. I love those rims. Hate you, Ducati. Alright guys, that wraps it up. Remember, it's not what you're riding, but where you're going.